Hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Today I've got a video on how to prepare your plants for the colder months and how to keep them happy over the winter. Seeing as we're in October now and it's starting to get a little bit chilly and we're not getting quite as much light coming into our houses, so there are things to bear in mind to keep your plants cozy over the winter. And I also just wanted to show you quickly what I plan on doing with my living room. It's quite a big room and normally my sofa is all the way back there on the back wall. So as you can see, it's quite far away from my TV. It makes the TV look tiny, but it's actually 55-inch. And I always thought, oh, I need a bigger TV. But what I need to do is bring the sofa forward so I can actually be a bit closer to the TV and it's a bit cozier. So I plan on getting a large corner sofa to go here. So this sofa will be going. And as you can see, I've marked out on the floor roughly where it will be going. I think I might push it back a little bit though, but I just wanted to see roughly like how it would fit in the living room. So I've marked it out and it's quite a bit larger than this sofa. So it should seat at least 8 people, which will be really nice because when my friends come round, we all cram on the sofa. Some of us like to sit on the floor, so it will be really nice to have everyone sitting on the sofa. It'll be lovely and cozy, but it is an 18-week wait for the sofa, which is quite a long time. I'm going to order it in the next week or so. And then also I thought it would be better to get kind of a square lower wooden coffee table because that looks a little bit strange there. I think it needs to be a square one. And then I'm also going to order a rustic wooden side cabinet for the back wall here so I can put some more plants on there. I'll have a bit more storage. And yeah, I just thought I'd update you on my living room plans because it will be looking a bit different soon. I'm super excited. I just really wish that I could get the new sofa before Christmas, but to be honest, I've been waiting 3 years to get a new sofa. Every year around this time, I start looking at sofas and then I can never find one that I like. So I don't think waiting a few more months will make too much difference. Anyway, back to the plants and how to prepare them for winter. So the first thing to consider is that obviously it's going to be a bit chillier outside. So I would normally move my plants away from the glass, just so the leaves aren't touching the glass, because if it's cold outside and the glass is cold, your leaves are not going to appreciate that. And obviously keep them away from any drafty areas because they will not appreciate a cold draft. Also, now that the central heating's back on, it's a good idea to keep your plants away from any radiators or air vents. She says as her plant is hanging over the radiator. It seems quite happy, but I will be moving it up here because I do have the radiators on and I don't think it's going to appreciate that. It'll probably go all crispy. So that's my number one tip, is move your plants away from the window, away from any air vents and away from central heating or anything like that. The next thing I'd recommend to keep your plants happy over winter is to get yourself a good humidifier. This one is the Elect Homes Warm and Cool Mist. I really like it. You can take the lid off to fill it, so it's super easy to refill. So here in the UK, once we put the central heating on in the winter, it does make the air really dry, so the plants will need the extra humidity. I have noticed that since I've put the central heating on, my humidifier has been running pretty much all day just because it's trying to keep up the humidity in the room. At the moment it's just set at 55%, but I will probably set it a little bit higher when it gets a bit colder. I do have 3 different humidifiers. I've got this one here, I've got one in my office, and then I've got a smaller, more basic one, which I'm actually not using at the moment. But so far this one is my favourite because it's the easiest to fill and I really like the way it looks and it's very quiet. And my plants all seem pretty happy. is my Melanochrysum's newest leaf, looking rather beautiful. Big Red still with us. It will be going dormant soon, normally towards the end of October. I think it might have even been November last year that this one went dormant, but you can see it's starting to get a little bit of yellow around the edges, which it didn't have before. So I don't think it will be too long. But I will be making a video on how to overwinter your indoor caladiums, probably in a couple of weeks. I'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm really enjoying its beauty. It's one of my favourite caladiums and it always produces this huge leaf for me. Also, raising the humidity in your home over winter can help prevent things like spider mites, because they tend to thrive in a dry environment. So that can help prevent spider mites. My Gloriosum's new leaf is coming up nicely. So here in my kitchen, I'm just going to move some of the plants away from the window. I think my Pink Princess, one of the leaves is actually touching the window, so I'm just going to move it forward a bit. That one's all right. Some of the plants may go dormant during the winter period, such as alocasia and caladiums. I've only just got this plant in the last few months, so I'm not sure whether this one will go dormant. I usually have an Alocasia amazonica on the window, which I don't have anymore, but that never used to go dormant in here, so it'll be interesting to see if this one goes dormant. I've also got a stingray here. Again, I don't think that went dormant last year, but we'll see what it does this year. The growth on my monstera is looking good. I cut it into 3 bits because it was getting very tall and leggy. It didn't look very good, so I've cut it into 3 bits and all 3 pieces are doing really well. Again, I'm just going to move this one back a bit from the window. And same with my croton. So we're now up in my office, and the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is grow lights. Obviously in the winter your house is not going to be getting as much light as in the summer, so unless you can kind of put more plants on the windowsills where there's more light, you're going to have a problem, especially if you've got a huge collection of plants like myself. I've got this very large shelving unit here, so I do have grow lights on this side of the room to keep the plants happy. And I've got my Spider Farmer SF1000 LED grow lights. These are quite large panelled grow lights, which are really good for shelving units. My Florida Beauty's doing really well. This was the one that had pretty much no variegation when I first received it, and now it has the most beautiful variegation. I think it's on its 3rd new leaf since I've had it. I've got this one here, and somewhere there's another one. Oh, it's on the other side there. So I really feel like the grow light has helped with the variegation. And also my Epipremnum pinnatum variegated is doing really well. All the new leaves are lovely and variegated. So beautiful. So hopefully the grow lights will keep the plants happy over winter. Last year I didn't actually have any grow lights, but I didn't have the collection of plants that I have now either. So what I used to do is just try and move them all towards the windowsills to get as much light as possible, but with the collection I've got now, that would be pretty much impossible. These grow lights are also dimmable, so I have dimmed them a little bit for the summer months, and then I can turn them up during the winter months so that the plants get a bit more light, but they are super bright. I will leave links to them below in the description box, like I do with all the products that I use and recommend. And then down on this shelf, again under another one of my Spider Farmer grow lights, I'm growing quite a few things. I've got some white knights. I'm propagating this for my friend because she loves it. and mine had got a bit long, so I thought I'd give it a trim. And I'll just give you an update on my Monstera. The last time I showed you this, it literally had one root coming off the aerial root, and now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this out actually. Let me take you to it. So as you can see, there are tons of roots now, and I think it might almost be ready to be potted up. And that leads me to something else that you shouldn't do during the winter months, is kind of repot plants or propagate plants. But I think because we've just come into autumn, I'll be able to get away with doing it kind of in the next couple of weeks. It should be fine, but it is recommended to wait and repot and propagate plants during the growing season. The last time I showed you this melanochrysum, it didn't even have this leaf, just literally had that leaf. So it's got a lovely brand new leaf, and also my Aglaonema pictum tricolour has got a new leaf. Very beautiful. Again, I've been rooting this one in water. It's got quite a few roots now, that's ready to be potted up. So ideally I need to be repotting these in the next few weeks. I did show you everything that I'm growing on this shelving unit a few weeks ago, which I'll attach on the screen if you haven't seen it. That's my other cutting from my Monstera. It's got a tiny little kind of nub coming out of it, which should be a growth point, which is quite exciting. This caladium's starting to go dormant. It's a little bit droopy. It's kind of trying to find its way to the light over here, as you can see, but there's not enough light for it here now. So I think I will be chopping this one back in the next couple of weeks. All the plants up here seem to be doing really well. I just can't get over how crazy this Cuprea is. Again, this could go dormant in the winter, but it didn't last year, so let's see what happens with it this year. I love it so much. I just really hope it doesn't go dormant. This is my Vitarifolium's newest leaf. Newest and biggest leaf. It's looking really, really nice. I love this wall here with the fairy lights and all the plants. Something else to keep your plants happy during the colder months is to cut back on the watering. But again, this will depend on your home environment, kind of the temperature you keep your house. I tend to keep my house quite warm, even in the winter. So I will be still watering my plants once a week, even during the winter months. But I will be cutting back on how much water I give them. If you do struggle with how much to water your plants, I'd recommend getting a moisture meter. I don't personally have one, but I've heard quite good things about them, and if you are a bit of an overwaterer, it's probably really useful to have one. I tend to underwater my plants rather than overwater. So I've been through light, humidity, repotting, watering and warmth. So the only thing left really is to just keep an eye on your plants for bugs over the winter. I tend to treat my plants every 3 months or so with my neem oil mix, which I'll show you in a moment. It's downstairs in the kitchen. And then also I do like to treat them with a systemic treatment every kind of 3 to 4 months as well. So this is the neem oil, which you mix with horticultural soap and warm water to create your neem oil spray. I just put mine in a plastic spray bottle. It does tell you on the back how much you need of each product, and then I will add some hot water from the kettle to make sure they're mixed together properly, and then I just top it up with filtered water and then give it a good shake. I recommend keeping this in a kind of a warm place in your house, because if you keep it somewhere cold, it will start separating and it won't be mixed properly. So every 3 months, as I said, I'll go around and I'll just kind of spray the leaves of my plants and then wipe them down with kitchen roll. So as well as protecting them from bugs like spider mites, this will actually also give the leaf a nice little shine, which you might be able to see actually on my croton. Can you see the leaves are quite shiny? Because this guy is quite prone to spider mites, so I do tend to treat him every couple of months. but he's always got through it, he's survived. But it does give the leaves a nice shine. I always get asked how I make my leaves shiny, and it's usually just from spraying this on the leaves. You can also use it as a drench, and you can spray down the stems and things like that. But just bear in mind, it can make your plant light sensitive. So avoid putting them in any kind of sunny positions after you have treated them with neem oil. Again, all the products I use will be linked below in the description box in my Amazon shop, because I always get asked what I use and recommend. So it was just easiest for me to create a shop and then just add all the products that I use into the shop. This is the other product that I recommend for treating your plants to get rid of things like thrips. Thrips are like the worst bug I've ever had to encounter. Usually I can get rid of like spider mites and mealybugs with the neem oil mix, but not thrips. And I also tried predatory mites a couple of times. That didn't seem to work either. So the only thing that worked for me to get rid of the thrips was this systemic treatment, and you're meant to use this every 3 months to kind of deter the bugs. I had to get this from eBay US because they don't sell it here in the UK, but it's really, really good stuff. Highly recommend it because it saved a lot of my plants. I do also have some bulb style grow lights in my living room, although they're more suitable for just keeping maybe 1 or 2 plants underneath, and I'm not quite sure how well they're going to fare up over winter, but we'll see. But they look quite nice. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I really hope you found the video useful. If I've missed anything off, I'll include it in the description box below. And again, if you've got any questions, ask away and I'll do my best to get back to you. I hope everyone's having a really nice autumn so far, and it's not too chilly where you are. It's not too bad here in the UK. It's pretty mild during autumn, and we usually get quite a mild winter as well, but you just never know. We might get snow this year, so just have to see. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all soon in my next video. Take care, everyone.